Hello fellas, Frankie Day here. Okay guys, for this gorgeous beginning of a Sunday evening, I have for you all video number 3, the final reveal from 1965 issue Airfix 1/72 scale B-29 Super Fortress. Okay guys, it's taken a lot of work to get this thing in shape like the way it's supposed to look like. A lot of drying time is a time factor of this thing, guys. What took so long to get this thing done. I kind of, like I said, I put the cart before the horse, you know, and I thought I have it done the last week sometime, but I got her done. She's all finished. Matter of fact, I had her finished last evening. And so I got it all done. This thing is all done with, I went ahead and I started to paint this thing with aluminum dope, with my aluminum paint from Ace Hardware. There's a word of caution about using that paint, guys. I went ahead and maybe I had the paint so long, I don't know. But that paint right there, that aluminum paint, I shook the can real well, make sure it's all the pigments incorporated with the paint itself. And I kind of put it in a little jar, I mixed it, I put a little acetone into it. And I tested on some plastic first before I put it on this here model. Then I found out that my airbrush was spitting out little small dust clusters, little dust. That passes through the cone where the needle goes through. And what it does, it shoots like, it looks like pepper specks on there, and I can't have that. So I checked the paint, looked at it, so I got rid of it. I discarded the paint, and I went ahead and let it dry. I didn't apply any paint on the plane itself. When I saw that happen, it's always good to test it on something before you guys apply it to the model. I'm not trying to shy away from the paint itself. But when paint's bought from the store and it's fresh, that's great. But I had this stuff for a long time. It's been sitting around. So I said, well, Frank, what are you going to do now? I looked around. I said, aha, here's a solution right here. I had 4 small bottles of Tester's dope. It's gloss dope, packed with gloss dope, silver there, aluminum paint. And so I used the dope on this thing instead of using the paint. Now, before we get into the dope method, now when you guys buy this paint at the store, it's always wise to go to your favorite hobby shop nearest your neck of the woods and buy these small little bottles like this. This has got acetone here. This is why I soak my airbrush parts in it. It has acetone. It really gets rid of everything, cleans everything really nice. So when I get done during my painting sessions, I take the small bits of the airbrush, stick it in the jar, let it soak so it's nice and clean. Now I'll go into the next painting session. I have to worry about having fears of having blocked orifices and also messed up paint. So anyway, it's good to get a bottle of these and get yourself a pint of that paint. Mix it very well and take that paint and put it in these little jars like this. And seal it real tight. Then you pour a little bit at a time. Don't put no thinner in these jars of paint after you put paint in it, because it will somehow attack the pigments a little bit, and the pigments will actually settle to the top and the thinner go to the bottom. So using metallic paints like that, it's always best to go ahead and use these jars full strength and add no thinners. And your problems having spitting out clusters will be over with. So I found that Evergloss dope. I mix it in my mix jar. I add some lacquer thinner to it to about the consistency of thinned down paint like the way it's supposed to be. And airbrush it on here. Using blues and blacks for tinting. I did some shading effect on this thing. And before I did that, I masked off the de-icer boots with flat back paint and let it dry. I went back over and glossed it over. I glossed the whole airplane. I went ahead and when it dried, I masked the de-icer boots. Then go ahead and add your aluminum and your paneling and shading as it goes along. So this gets all done. I'm going to put her away, and I'm going to turn to on the Typhoon. I'm going to work on it right after this video. I'm going to get a lot done on it. Probably have a video tomorrow evening, and I'll post some updated pictures next to Martin's and everybody else's builds they have going on of this beautiful a snippy, tippy a group that we got going on. And so after this video too, before I do all that, I'm going to have a video of my card model of the Policarpov 116 Instabel fighter, we call it. And so I have a video of that coming up. I got the fuselage pretty much done that, except the engine on that. So I might as well make a video of that to keep you guys in the news and interested. Okay, we're going to swing around and take a look at this Airfix 1965 Airfix B-29 Super Fortress. It's still a good kit for all those years. It's over 50 plus years. And we'll zoom a little bit over here and we'll take a look at this old buzzard right here. Okay guys, there she is right there. And we'll tour around a little bit. You can see how the shades come in a little bit here and there. And all aerogloss dope. Dope was actually the first metal plate that was ever used. And a lot of old modelers like myself and people before me have used that in plastic models. Because matter of fact, guys, when you find these desk models that made back in the 40s, 30s, 50s, they were finished with a lacquer finish known as aerogloss dope that they used. Even Washington, D.C., where they had display models like this hanging around, they had it full of dope. You can see the contrast of the aluminum shades on here. Bomb bay doors are down. Love those propellers. And Panzer Man Bill, I got you some crew figures there, buddy. If I get a little closer, you can see the bombardier in there. And you can see the fellow in the bomber chair back here. It sits like in the bomber chair. He controls all these guns, the top turrets. His job is to control the bottom turret and the top turret. And the waist blisters here control the bottom turrets, while he controls the top turrets. And the B-29 had a computerized system guaranteed that these things can be shot, that the Japanese can be reduced air superiority by using the computerized guns that these things were built for. And the B-29 Super Fortress, guys, was a very secretive airplane for a long time. And the Russians got a hold of one of these and they made a duplicate copy of their own. You can take it and put it next to this here, and you can't even tell what's Russian and what's American. That shows you what great copiers they were. Super Fortress came out very late during the war because it was in the design process. And I remember when I was a little boy, I can remember seeing a lot of them down there at the at Kelly Field in Texas, all through there. And also they had some in Boeing Field in Virginia. They had a lot of B-29s out there laying around, and they were very secretive. You couldn't get near them. I remember asking my father, "Hey, Dad, can I go down and look at the B-29s?" My father said, "Oh, no, no, no. I myself can't go down there. These things are top secret. These hush-hush airplanes." They were the first advanced, modernized airplane of the whole entire world at the time. And they were used very, very well throughout the end of the Second World War and the end of the Second World War up to the Korean War. Then they started making stratotankers out of them. KC B-50s, they call them, or KC B-29. And the B-50 came in. That was the final variant of the Boeing B-29. It's almost half B-29 and half Boeing 377 Clipper. They got the 377 power plant and the tail. Everything else is just B-29. And I love this B-29. I mean, it came out really good for a little small, for a little 1/72 scale by Airfix, and I'm very happy with it. Airfix makes some very, very nice kits. They're very old and very elementary, but they still are doable, and they still are in collectors' hands. I got a whole bunch right now myself I have. And they're very, very good subjects to use and build. Their Airfixes came a long ways opposed to their old molds that they used before. And I'm kind of quite favorable to their old kits because I like them. I was raised with them. And what's the challenge about those old kits, fellas, is you compare your building skills back then to now, and it makes you wonder, well, I haven't built that kit in 50, 60 years. I wonder how good I can make this thing look if I go ahead and with all my skills that have been pretty well updated, how I learned throughout the years as I was growing up, can be applied to make this thing a lot better than it was when I first got it. So that's a challenge itself right there. So you guys see the Airfix kits around and buy them. They're good kits. I mean, you get the old ones laying around. I'm lucky I got a very good hobby shop. That's Smitty's hobby shop. That's my favorite hobby shop because he deals with vintage aircraft. Most of his models that this man gets is from estate sales. For example, now if I should find out that I'm dying, I don't have too long to live, my stash will go to him, and he'll take it and sell it, just like eBay does. Most of the models like these that are sold on eBay are probably from people like me who passed on, and somebody bought the house and seen all the models that was in it, found a cash reward of models that are negotiable, that are worth buying, and that can be sold. I got another one of these in my stash pile. I think it's Jolt and Josie. This was Boxcar and Enola Gay kit. And I bought two of these jobs. Now, this B-29 is a good airplane, guys. You'll find this kit very easy to build. All you gotta do is get yourself some wet and dry sandpaper on a flat stick. And you don't have to worry about using water. But I always use water. Make sure it's wet and dry sandpaper, 320 grit. And just rub those rivets down. You can feel them toning down as you sand. Because the rivets on here by Rosie's Riveter were very, very overdone, like most kits in the 60s and 50s. They're in that era. They were very, very heavy rivets. And believe it or not, guys, modelers like myself, when I was young at that time during those days, I found myself that I really enjoyed those rivets. A lot of guys like those rivets because it represented aluminum. But we all know better now, because you go up to an airplane now, you don't see one that's hit riveted like that. Geez, they'd be like big old bolts sticking out. And so, like I say, the only thing you need to do with this kit is tone it down. After it's all even, you can tone it down. It's best to tone this thing down before you put it together. That's what I did in this thing. I took a top wing, the bottom wing, the fuselage halves, stabilizers, and I just wet and sanded them until I really got those rivets down. And this is a real nice plane. I really love this B-29. It came out pretty good. Now, Minicraft makes one of these. I surmise that it's a pretty well more advanced kit than this is, but this thing is pretty well detailed like the real one. The only thing they left out was the flight engineer, the navigator, and the radio and the radio operator's compartments, and everything else is there. They had crew figures mending the bottom guns, the top guns, and bombardier, and pilot and co-pilot, tail gunner. It was lots of fun. I feel a lot better now, guys. I think I'm shaking this sinus thing. I went down there to sick bay, went down to see the shanker mechanic at the VA, and gave me some APC, some antibiotics, you call them, and says, you'll be all right. You just got a sinus infection going on. And so I got that squared away. I'm feeling miles better now. And so I can't wait to start working on my Tiffy tonight. Okay, guys, this is the conclusion of video 3, the final reveal. for the Airfix 1/72 scale B-29 Super Portraits. We'll bring back the camera, yours truly. Here he is, a big face and a small monitor. Okay, guys, I'm kind of tired this evening a little bit. I had to work today, overtime today. Got home, took a power nap, and I feel much energized and relieved. And tomorrow night, I think we're going to have I'm going to start having these hangouts on a Monday evening only. So at Monday at 10 o'clock at night, we're going to start having my hangout. So tomorrow night at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, we're going to have the Frankie Day show. And we'll have some model building going on, jolly tunes, stories of the past, a few chuckles here and there, and now I can wait to everybody and communicate to everybody now, but on the chat, because I go to Facebook and I can pick you guys chat conversation up there and then go back to the hangout. So we'll get the hangout going on at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, fellas. It's going to be the Frankie Day show, and I'll bring out a few models and show you guys. And I kind of like these hangouts. I'm going to try and invest in some electronic gear, this computer here. Use my webcam, and I can make it more using my camera here I have, and they can be a lot more HD like it is on the videos, because the webcam on the computer it don't show very much clarity, and believe me, don't pick up very good sound either. So I just play that guitar, it'll pick up a little bit and let's kind of shut everything down. So maybe I'm playing too loud, I don't know. But on the jolly tunes, I'll kind of tune down a little bit so it'll pick up the full sound of the guitar. Okay, guys, that's about all I can say. Right to this video was getting uploaded. It's going to be the Go Mix Fly model, scale 133 paper card kit. The Polar Pope 116 Instable Fighter. So I had that coming your way, fellas. So right now, this is Frankie Day signing off. God bless you guys. Make Mama happy. Happy modeling. And stay tuned for the paper model Polar Pope 116. I have that shaking your way. Okay, guys. Time for me to shake out of here right now. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. God bless you guys. Happy modeling. Make Mama happy always. Happy wife, happy life. Okay, guys, love you, fellas. I'll catch you guys next video.